What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 82 of CEO in Rome. I think it's 82. If I'm wrong, I'm sure CEO will correct me. Anyway, this is Rome, and look, there's some traveling and complicated things going on this week, so it's only going to be me for the moment. But just wanted to make sure that we served you something this week, like we do every week. Before I jump into some topics, let's get some housekeeping things out of the way. Best podcast of 2019. Undisputed. And if you want to dispute it, shoot us an email at sealandrome@gmail.com. Also, if you want to get yourself some merch, if you want to get yourself a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie, head on over to afgoclothing.com. And we also have a discount code for you if you want to get 15% off. The promo code is CEO and Rome 15. Also, I want to give a big shout out to a couple of our homies. Gats won an award at the Mew Award Show on Saturday night, which I missed. Major shout out to him. Homie's doing big things. We were actually just talking. I know he was on his way to LA. I know he's going to New York soon. This is definitely someone to watch when it comes to the music shit. Brilliant dude. Love him to death. But I really can't wait to see what's in store for you, Gats. I'm really excited. I'm really proud of you. Keep doing your thing, homie. Also, I want to give another big shout out to Fresh Room Podcast. It's my understanding that these guys didn't get to take home an award, but in my heart, in my mind, in my eyes, I really feel that these guys are doing so much. They have their hands all over the artistry that's going on here in the Tampa Bay area. They're providing a platform for others, and it's so much appreciated. And these are really, really good friends of the CEO in Rome podcast. So I just want to offer some encouraging words. You know, I feel like sometimes we get caught up in the cycle where awards become so important to us, and they're a great honor. It's great to be recognized, but it doesn't define who we are and what it is that we bring to the table. And these guys definitely bring something to the table. So if you haven't already, I definitely recommend that you check them out. Fresh Room Podcast. Freshen up, guys. It's kind of a collective of a variety of things, not just a podcast. So definitely check them out. Serge and Zay, shout out to you guys. All right, so listen, this isn't going to be a long podcast at all, but I do have a few important topics that I want to bring up. Very first thing that I want to mention, you know, we lost rapper Nipsey Hussle yesterday. Definitely came as a bit of a shock to me, mainly because, you know, this isn't a guy that's known to be out there popping shit. Fairly young guy. I do know that he was out here trying to spread awareness when it comes to lifting up people as it related to health matters, as it related to social matters, as it related to employment, all these different types of things. However, that's never something that warrants someone getting shot and losing their lives. But we know how the game goes. You know, once someone starts making a little too much noise, it can become an issue, even if it's something that's rooted in good nature. So I don't want to say that it's a conspiracy or that I believe that, but it could be. I don't know. I think I need to educate myself a little more on the facts before I make those types of claims. But if you want to dig into it, a lot is definitely being said on social media. One of the things that's concerning is that apparently there is video circulating of the incident. I haven't watched it myself. I just want to know, how did we get to a stage in social media where we are so comfortable watching these graphic images? You know, I'm of the belief that we got to respect the dead, you know, and that's not something that I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Our condolences to Nipsey Hussle. It's a really, really sad thing, but definitely want to make sure to mention that. The second thing I want to talk about is Wendy Williams. You guys, I'm not one to really dig into gossip, current events, and all that. But it's been on my heart to kind of talk about this for a while. But I couldn't really figure out why it would be important to talk about this, but I'm finally at that point. So as you all may know, Wendy Williams spent some time away from her talk show, stating it was because she broke her shoulder and she's got new treatment, she's got new this, she's got new that. Upon her return back to the show, she was away for quite a while. She revealed that she has slipped back into addiction. Didn't mention the drugs. I do know alcohol was probably a part of it, mainly because she was staying at a sober house in Queens. Now, for those of you who don't know what a sober house is, it's basically a place where addicts can live. They don't get much privacy, and it's a space that encourages them to live a sober lifestyle. They typically are assigned a coach that monitors their activities and makes sure that they don't relapse into their shit. You know what I mean? So she was living in one of these sober houses. Wasn't anything glamorous, which made it quite interesting that she was living in this dynamic while going on to record her show in Manhattan every day. Very courageous of her to admit that on air. But I feel like one of the reasons why she admitted it on air was because Daily Mail has been on her ass investigating the alleged affair with him and his mistress, and they plan to break the story anyway. So when they reached out to her for comment, she didn't want to comment and decided to just talk about it herself on her show, which I feel is pretty smart. It's a lot better for you to air out your own laundry than allow someone else to do it. So at this point, we're all aware, she's in a sober house. But now it's being said that her husband got the mistress, this has been a mistress of 10 years, pregnant. So it was recently reported that the baby was born. Shortly after that was announced, it was also reported that she checked out of the sober house and was found very drunk. Following this, it was announced that she has a pre-planned hiatus that's going to happen sometime in April. I don't have the exact dates, but I believe this hiatus is going to be about a week. Now, I just want to say this, you guys. Money isn't everything. Career isn't everything. Sometimes from the outside looking in, we see the cars, we see the glamour, we see all this shit. We think that this is the life we want, but it all comes with a price. We all have issues to some extent, and I think that what's key is making sure that we're living these fulfilled lives where we are truly and genuinely happy. And I think that this is all an opportunity for all of us to kind of look at ourselves and ask ourselves, are we happy? Are we happy with our lives? Are we happy with who we're with? Are we happy with our circumstances? Because life's way too fucking short. This woman has dedicated her career to criticizing others and making it a entertainment piece. And even though she's dealing with this shit personally, she's still doing it. Like when Juvenile and Birdman were on her show recently, she tried to take a jab at Toni Braxton and her saying something to the effect of, Birdman, you got all this money that you spent on Lil Wayne's career, and it's interesting, how do you feel with having all of this wealth and being in a relationship with Toni, considering that she's not that great with money? And Birdman had to check her. It's kind of like, homie, like you throwing stones, but you live in a glass house, and right now it just doesn't feel right. I just wonder, this is the question I have for you guys. If this isn't karma, if you don't believe in karma, do we at least believe that we reap what we sow at some point in our lives? And she's been doing a lot of reaping. This goes far before the Wendy Williams show. This goes back to the radio days. So part of me is like, I don't feel bad because that's what the fuck she gets. But as a woman, part of me is like, homie, why are you subjecting yourself to a life of pain so much so that you lose in yourself? And if not for her genuinely, because I don't know her from Adam, it's to all of you out there that are dealing with some shit. You ain't got to front and put on a show to try to impress everybody. A lot of people stay in fucked up situations because they're worried about the shame of failure. Like, don't do it to yourself. Life is way too fucking short. If if you're going through some things and you need to talk to somebody, definitely do that. Speaking of, if you haven't noticed already, definitely go to our Instagram. We have a phone number that you can text if that's your thing. Feel free to text us anytime, even if it's just that you have questions, you need some support. If you have some things we want to go over on the show, definitely text us, and we'll definitely make something happen there. The third and final story, nothing important, just something super interesting I want to share with you guys. So this story takes place in Bangladesh. Woman that's 20 years old. She goes to the hospital. She's pregnant. She gives birth to a baby boy. Now, I don't know for certain, but I know that there are certain areas of Asia that are a bit underdeveloped and they don't necessarily get the level of medical care that we have here in the United States. So I could easily understand how a woman can go a full-term pregnancy there without ever having an ultrasound. Which brings my next point. This woman goes home. She starts feeling some pain in her lower abdomen 26 days after having her first baby. Turns out she's still pregnant. She has a second uterus and is pregnant with twins, fam. How does that happen? First of all, I didn't even know you could have a second uterus. Apparently, that's a thing. The condition is called uterus diphys. So basically what happens is as your uterus develops, it's in two tubes that fuse. And in some people with this rare condition, the uterus doesn't fuse together and you end up with two uteruses. Shorty had 3 babies in her at the same time and didn't know. Like, how do you not know? She's only 20, maybe her first pregnancy. Maybe she didn't know what the fuck was going on. How did the doctors not know? I don't want to call bullshit on this story, but part of me wants to. But if it's true, I think it's important for all of us to know out there. Like, nigga, you need to find out if you got 2 uteruses. Don't end up like Bangladeshi chick with twins after her first pregnancy. Like, I would lose my shit, fam. Definitely would. I do want to pose a question. I don't know, like, you know, I'm geographically challenged. I don't know if Bangladesh is part of India or in that wheelhouse, but I have a question. Like, why does it seem like the most bizarre conditions, deformities, weird shit, it seems like it's a little more prevalent in areas like India and Bangladesh? Like, I really want to, I believe I looked into this before, and there was some sort of like radioactive crazy shit going out there, but we need to find out what the fuck's going on, because this shit's fucking crazy. Anyway, look, this is what you're getting this week. What's most important is that CO and I don't want to leave you guys unserved. We don't want you guys to miss a week of content. So I really hope you accept this as your episode of the week. We'll be back to our normal routine. We definitely are having a party on Saturday at the house. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun and interesting stories to share with you next week. But again, we love you guys. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your support. And we'll definitely catch you on the next one. Have a good week.